Hey, welcome back. It's JWalter here. In today's housing market update, I want to share a new report from the National Association of Realtors. They just released this today at the time of this video. They announced that pending home sales decreased for the third straight month. In addition, this is the biggest month-to-month decrease in the last 11 months. So let's go ahead and dive right into the video and I'll share all the data with you. And by the way, if you get any value out of this video, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. So here's according to the Mortgage News Daily, the National Association of Realtors released January's pending home sale report this morning. This measures signed purchase contracts as opposed to finalized sales. So a pending home sale is when a home seller accepts an offer from a home buyer. That's a pending home sale. It becomes a finalized sale if the buyer moves forward with buying the house in about a month. So this is really a advanced indicator or a forward indicator of the housing market of existing home sales, but it also means that pending home sales can be a little bit more volatile because just because a house goes pending doesn't mean the buyer is going to buy the house. So we can get a general sense about what home sales will be like in the next 1 or 2 months. In any case, they say that in today's data, that volatility expresses itself in the form of the biggest month-to-month decline in the last 11 months. When you actually look at the report itself, here's what they call it. They call it the Pending Home Sale Index. It's called the PHSI. This is from the National Association of Realtors. I took a look at this data here and kind of want to share it with you guys. So the index right now is 109.5. That's a decrease of 5.7% compared to 1 month ago and 9.5% drop compared to 1 year ago. That's a big decrease. In addition, like I said, this is the third straight month where the pending home sale index has decreased. And at the current pace of 109.5, we have not been at this low of a level since April of 2021. Every other month in 2021, we're at levels above this 109.5. In addition, when you look at the average index in 2021, that was 150. So January compared to the average across the entire year of 2021, we're at lower levels. In addition, compared to 2020, we're also at lower levels. 111 was the average index in 2020. Now it's 109.5. What I found to be interesting, though, is that when you look at 2019, the average there for the entire year was 105.8, obviously lower than we have right now. So when you go back to this report from the Mortgage Bankers Association, despite the losses, if we look beyond the post-COVID sales surge, which is this area right here, this is in basically middle 2020 through 2021, current levels are still quite strong in the context over the last 15 years. So have a look at this. Obviously elevated levels in 2020 and 2021, but the levels right now of 109 are still much, much greater than most years and most months going back to 2007-ish. So the index here still remains at very elevated levels, even though the month-to-month and year-to-year has decreased. And keep in mind, in 2021, our housing market was in full swing, and the spring months of 2021 was the most competitive real estate market I've ever been a part of. And so we shouldn't really look in too much into year-over-year figures, but we should really look into what has happened now compared to prior years before COVID. So I hope that makes sense. In any case, let's have a look at the actual report from the National Association of Realtors to kind of gain some understanding about what's going on and why pending home sales have been decreasing. And I have some thoughts about that here in just a little bit. Anyways, contract signings fell 5.7% from last month, and they have a 3-month drop now. In addition, of the 4 U.S. major regions that the NAR reports on, only the West registered an increase in the month-over-month contract activity. So only the West had an increase in pending home sales compared to 1 month ago. And all 4 regions posted a decline in year-over-year activity. So here's a good way to look at this. This is a infographic from the National Association of Realtors. Have a look at this. The Midwest dropped by 5.9% compared to 1 month ago. The Northeast by 12.1%. If anyone knows what's going on in the Northeast, please let me know because contract activity has declined quite a bit. In the South, we're down 6.3%. And the West is the only region where we had an increase pending home sales compared to 1 month ago. And Lawrence Yun, who's NAR's chief economist, said, with inventory at an all-time low, buyers are still having a difficult time finding a house. So I think that's one major reason why contract signings or pending home sales decreased. But I also have another theory as well. In regards to housing inventory, have a look at this. This is the latest data we have from Redfin for active listings. Another word for that is housing supply or housing inventory. So this dark line right here is for 2022. And when we look at the latest data we have, or Redfin has, the end date is for February 20th, 2022, where we have 452,000 active listings in the US. That's down 25.29% compared to 1 year ago when we had approximately 605,000. Pre-COVID, which was of course in 2021, really a COVID kind of hit basically or I should say affected our market really in March of 2020. So pre-COVID in 2020, we had about 888,000. And we look at the past few years, we had in the range of 1 million, just under 1 million, to just under 900,000 houses for sale. And now we have 452,000. So it's really hard to have an increase of home sales when we have record low housing inventory. If we had more options available, we would have more home sales. But I kind of want to throw a twist at you guys. So have a look at this. This is according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. They just reported this on the 23rd, and they stated that mortgage applications decreased from 1 week ago. When you actually look at purchase applications, though, these are mortgage applications for home purchases. Those have declined for the third straight week. We'll have to see if that trend continues because I don't want to make long-term conclusions based on short-term data, 3 weeks right here. So I'll definitely keep you posted regarding this because if purchase applications for mortgages decreases further, especially as we go into the spring months, that may be an indication that home buyer demand is decreasing. But this could change very drastically, right? This could increase next month. So Lawrence Yun continued on and said the following: given the situation in the market, mortgages, home costs, and inventory, it would not be surprising to see a retreat in housing demand. So basically mortgages, he means that interest rates have been increasing greatly. And of course, home prices are near all-time highs and inventories at all-time record lows. NAR expects economic conditions to be volatile in the coming months. The impending conclusion of the Federal Reserve Asset Purchase Program in March paves the way for higher interest rates. So in other words, that's the Fed's winding down or the tapering of their purchases of mortgage-backed securities. That's going to conclude next month, and that could pave the way for higher interest rates to come. We'll have to see. Also, Russia's aggression in Ukraine is also likely to affect global oil supply, posing further burdens on inflation and bringing about more aggressive rate hikes. So the Fed is signaling that they're going to increase the federal funds rate in their meeting next month in March, and they could potentially increase it up to 0.5%. Right now we're about 0%, so we could be in the range of 0.25 to 0.5% next month here. So to briefly summarize, pending home sales in the US had the biggest month-to-month decrease in the last 11 months. However, when you look at historical trends, we're still at elevated levels. We'll have to see if these increasing in mortgage rates are going to affect home buyer demand in the months to come though. So stay tuned on the channel. I'll definitely keep you posted. Also, if you got any value out of this video, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. And also have an awesome day.